Jamunatiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Om Viṣṇu Pād Paramhansa Parivājakacharya Astotra Tattva Sri Maharaj Divine Grace of Hari Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Viṣṇu Pād Paramhansa Parivājakacharya Astotra Sri Maharaj Divine Grace of Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Kori Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Gaura Premanandi All glorious to the sum of devotees. Glorious to the sum of devotees. All glorious to the sum of devotees. All glorious to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Nama Om Viṣṇu Vidaya Krishna Padasthavadare Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Vishesha Shunyavadi Pastachari Satarani Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Naruttamam Deving Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayen Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utama Shloke Tirvavadinaishtaki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 28, entitled Kapila's Instructions on Devotional Service. Text number 33. Dhyānāyanaṁ prahasitam bahulādharoṣṭha bahulādharoṣṭha bhāsāruṇāyita-tanu-dvija-kunda-paṅkti dhyāyet svadeha-kuhare vasitasya viṣṇor bhaktyārdrayārpita-manā na pṛthag didṛkṣet dhyānāyanaṁ prahasitam bahulādharoṣṭha dhyānāyanaṁ prahasitam bahulādharoṣṭha bhāsāruṇāyita-tanu-dvija-kunda-paṅkti bhāsāruṇāyita-tanu-dvija-kunda-paṅkti dhyāyet svadeha-kuhare vasitasya viṣṇor. Dhyāyet svadeha-kuhare vasitasya viṣṇor. bhaktyārdrayārpita-manā pṛthag didṛkṣet. bhaktyārdrayārpita-manā pṛthag didṛkṣet. dhyāna-ayanam prahasitam bahulādharoṣṭha. bhāsāruṇāyita-tanu-dvija-kunda-paṅkti. dhyāyet svadeha-kuhare vasitasya viṣṇor. bhaktyārdrayārpita-manā pṛthag didṛkṣet. dhyānāyanaṁ prahasitam bahulādharoṣṭha. bhāsāruṇāyita-tanu-dvija-kunda-paṅkti. dhyāyet svadeha-kuhare vasitasya viṣṇo. bhaktyārdrayārpita-manā pṛthag didṛkṣet. dhyāyanaṁ prahasitam bahulādharoṣṭha. bhāsāruṇāyita-tanu-dvija-kunda-paṅkti. dhyāyet svadeha-kuhare vasitasya viṣṇor. bhaktyārdrayānaṁ pṛthag didṛkṣet. dhyānāyanaṁ prahasitam bahulādharoṣṭha. bhāsāruṇāyita-tanu-dvija-kunda-paṅkti. dhyāyet svadeha-kuhare vasitasya viṣṇor. bhaktyārdrayārpita-manā pṛthag didṛkṣet. Ladies, dhyāyanaṁ prahasitam bahulādharoṣṭha. bhadrayūnaitanu-dvija-kunda-paṅkti. dhyāyet svadeha-kuhare vasitasya viṣṇor. dhyāna-ayanam, easily meditated upon. Prahasitam, the laughter. Bahula, abundant. Adhara-oṣṭha, of his lips. Bhāsa, by the splendor. aruṇāyita, rendered rosy. Tanu, small. Dvija, teeth. Kunda-paṅkti, like a row of jasmine buds. dhyāyet, he should meditate upon. Svadeha-kuhare, in the core of his heart. Avasitasya, who resides. viṣṇoḥ, of Viṣṇu. Bhaktyā, with devotion. Ārdrayā, steeped in love. Arpita-manāḥ, his mind being fixed. Not pṛthak, anything else. Didṛkṣet, he should desire to see. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktyārdrayārpita-manā Swami Prabhupada. With devotion steeped in love and affection, the yogi should meditate within the core of his heart upon the laughter of Lord Viṣṇu. The laughter of Viṣṇu is so captivating that it can be easily meditated upon. When the Supreme Lord is laughing, one can see his small teeth, which resemble jasmine buds rendered rosy by the splendor of his lips. Once devoting his mind to this, the yogi should no longer desire to see anything else. Please repeat. With devotion steeped in love and affection, the yogi should meditate within the core of his heart upon the laughter of Lord Viṣṇu. The laughter of Viṣṇu is so captivating that it can be easily meditated upon. When the Supreme Lord is laughing, one can see his small teeth, which resemble jasmine buds, rendered rosy by the splendor of his lips. Once devoting his mind to this, the yogi should no longer desire to see anything else. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Ugam Guru Devachalam Pangam Mangaya Degurimaki Pitamande Sri Gurum Dinatarnam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So we've been, purport, wow. I got just so captivated by this translation, I couldn't help but appreciate Prabhupada pointing out his small teeth, which resemble jasmine buds. Purport. It is recommended that the yogi visualize the laughter of the Lord after studying his smile very carefully. These particular descriptions of meditation on the smile, laughter, face, lips, and teeth all indicate conclusively that God is not impersonal. It is described herein that one should meditate on the laughter or smiling of Viṣṇu. There is no other activity that can completely cleanse the heart of the devotee. The exceptional beauty of the laughter of Lord Viṣṇu is that when he smiles, his small teeth, which resemble the buds of jasmine flowers, at once become reddish, reflecting his rosy lips. If the yogi is able to place the beautiful face of the Lord in the core of his heart, he will be completely satisfied. In other words, when one is absorbed in seeing the beauty of the Lord within himself, the material attraction can no longer disturb him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We can understand from these descriptions given in these translations and Srila Prabhupada's purport what level of meditation is there, and that's necessary to appreciate the all beautiful form of the personality of Godhead. And as Prabhupada points out here, this conclusively indicates that God is not impersonal. But some or other, due to offenses, due to neglect, lack of intelligence, the conditioned souls imagine that the absolute truth is impersonal. But when the eyes are anointed with and tinged with the salve of love, as Lord Brahma points out, premanjanas charita bhakti vilochanena shantak shadaivari deeshu vilokayanti. That when the eyes are in a proper order, it's like my eyes are not in proper order, I can barely see. But when the eyes are in proper order, one can see, the yogi can meditate within the core of his heart upon this beautiful form of the Lord, and can, because of being steeped in love and affection, can appreciate all of these wonderful descriptions and qualities that are being given. Just like yesterday, we heard so nicely how one should meditate upon the eyebrows of the Lord, the eyes and eyebrows. The other day I had to go into the mall because I had to fix my watch. I broke the wristband on it. So as I was walking through the mall to the shop, along the way there are so many stores which are advertising beautiful eyes, right? They have the big blow-ups that are really photoshopped, because no one really looks like that. That's a fact. Otherwise, why would you go and buy all of these makeups, whether it be that which is for the eyes or the eyebrows or the skin? It's all photoshopped. But you're made to imagine that, oh, you can look like this. And the blow-ups are so big that it bewilders your brain. And here we're seeing what actually the yogis are able to perceive. They're able to perceive the beautiful eyes, the beautiful eyebrows, the beautiful laughter, right? We're so proud of our eyes and eyebrows. There's a nice pastime described in the Krishna book of one particular demon who made it his business to go from place to place and disturb these sacrificial arenas. He would pollute them in so many different ways. He would, with his strong arms, create waves to disturb the coastal communities. He would uproot trees and throw them all over the place, and rocks, big boulders. And he took great pleasure in disturbing, and sometimes he would kidnap young girls and would violate them. One day he was hearing a beautiful sound coming from a forested area alongside one mountain. And you can, those who are familiar with Krishna book, you can imagine who this person is. But he was very proud of his strength. And he was also, what he would do is he would create just a terrible disturbance in the community. And he heard this wonderful sound coming from this forest. So he went there to see what was going on there. And he saw this beautiful form of Balaram. He immediately became attracted to this beautiful form. And he was also attracted to the young ladies that Balaram was associating with. And he began to make all kinds of sounds. Anyone remember that sound he used to make? Kila, 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 kila. This big monkey. Kila, kila. And he would create all kinds of facial expressions. And he would play with his eyebrows. Right? So we're so fascinated by eyebrows. This Dviveda would make all sorts of facial caricatures, and he would move his eyebrows. And everyone else just sort of laughed at him because he was so ridiculous. But he got angrier and angrier to the point where he began to tear off the clothes of Balaram and tear off the clothes of the ladies that were with him. And Balaram became very angry at this. And then he began to throw boulders and trees and everything else. And Balaram would just discard them very easily, but he became angry at this person, how he was disturbing the whole atmosphere. And finally he just hit him on the collarbone and he was finished. But the point being that we're very fascinated by our by our physique in the material world. But when we hear the descriptions here of how the personality of Godhead, his forms are so beautiful and attractive and so captivating, and even his laughter. There was one character who appeared before Lord Krishna, and he came with pasted arms on. Right? This fellow Pundraka, he had glued some arms, additional arms on to present himself as the actual Vasudeva. And Lord Krishna began to laugh. He couldn't contain himself. He began to laugh. And then all the others, King Surasena and all the royal court, they also began to laugh uncontrollably. You can imagine some character just showing up and thinking that he's Vasudeva and that everyone should, and then he challenges the Lord to a fight. So the Lord likes to laugh also. And you can't help but laugh at such characters. So the form of Krishna, the form of the personality of Godhead, is all auspicious. And everything he does is also auspicious. Lochana Bhadrarika Nakasparsha Divya Singha Namostute. There's a very beautiful verse of Lord Nrsingadev, which describes that your glance and touch and the touch of your nails are the source of all auspiciousness. When Krishna smiles or when he laughs, it's a source of inspiration and auspiciousness. It's not like you find in the mundane world where people like to exercise their lungs in so many different ways. But they're just croaking like frogs. There's nothing there. There's no value there. But when the Supreme Lord speaks, or when he moves his eyebrows, or when he laughs, it's all attractive. Therefore, we describe him as Krishna, the all-attractive personality of Godhead. Rupa Goswami describes the nectar devotion that we're specifically talking here about the laughter and smiling of the Lord. He describes the nectar devotion that there are 6 divisions describing the laughter and the smiling of the Lord. And these are proportionate to the amount, to the teeth of the Lord which is exposed in that smiling and in that laughter. It's really incredible how the science of Krishna consciousness is just that. It's so scientific. It describes in detail the beautiful form of the Lord and how even his smiling can be divided into divisions of study. It's quite amazing that this information can be given there. That it's not, again, some mental speculation. It's not some imagination, but it's according to fact. That when the yogi can visualize the laughter of the Lord, when he can visualize the beautiful form of the Lord within his heart, that form of the Lord becomes visible, because he is there within the heart. He's not imaginary. And knowing that, we can understand we're not alone. We're not alone. We may be going through so many trials and tribulations and tests in life, but the fact is that Krishna is there. So we're not alone. He's our best friend, svadeha-kuhare, right? He's there. He has these beautiful features. Queen Kunti describes as Kamala Patraksha. She calls him, lotus-eyed one. Everything about the personality of Godhead is complete and all attractive. And everything he does is auspicious. And it's meant for the progression or progress of the human form of life. And everything he does, again, is simply meant for our betterment. Right? Pashanti panti kalayanti charanjaganti. Again, the Brahma Samhita describes how the Lord sees, maintains, and manifests the whole creation. He sees what's going on, he's maintaining it, and he's manifesting it. All for the betterment of all living beings. Prabhupada was pointing out in the previous verse how this is for the good of all beings. So these particular descriptions are meant to be meditated upon. The meditation of appreciating the smile, the laughter, the face, the lips. I was noticing also that people want to, there's many ways that you can get a fat lip. But now you can go and get injections and get real fat lips. And that's supposed to be attractive. It doesn't make sense. But when you meditate upon the smile, the laughter, the face, the lips, and teeth of the personality of Godhead, we can understand that he's the all-attractive personality, and that he's actually there. And if the yogi is able to place that beautiful face of the Lord in the core of his heart, he will be completely satisfied. There's nothing else that has any interest. If one can some or other appreciate that form of the Lord which is situated in the heart, then it's not difficult to turn away from the illusory attractions of the material energy. As Prabhupada was describing yesterday, and also in this verse here, how one will turn away from the attractions of material life. Yadavadi mama chaita Krishna padaravindo. Jamunacharya, he describes very nicely that since I've been engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, my attraction or the thought of trying to enjoy in this material world, whenever I think of it, namely the highest pleasure which we find in the material world, that sex attraction, that I spit and my lips curl in disgust. When will that day come when we can come to that platform, when we don't have any illusory idea that I can enjoy in this material world, but some or other we've fallen into this condition, and how to get out of it. How to get out of it. That is the process of bhakti, as Jamunacharya explains. Since I've been engaged in the loving service of the Lord, my interest toward such things is no longer there. Not that we're artificially acting so detached, but actually there. And when one can appreciate the beautiful form of the Lord and his beautiful teeth. I was just fascinated by this line that the yogi is able to place the beautiful face of the Lord in the core of his heart, and at once smiles at his, appreciates his small teeth. The Lord likes to smile, of course, but his teeth are beautiful teeth. Again, we've seen so many images of people who have problems in that area, but the personality of Godhead, his teeth are beautiful, and they resemble the buds of jasmine flowers. Who was it that in the Krishna book again? I think it was the king of Kilinga. He liked to show off his teeth until they got knocked out by the Lord. So we're proud of so many things in this material world, but in a flash, all of these things are taken away. It can be our bodies, our minds, our intelligence. All these things can be taken away in a flash. So one has to recognize that again, this material world is a very challenging place, and the way to deal with it is by engaging in the process of bhakti yoga and taking shelter of the personality of Godhead. Queen Kunti, again, she describes in her prayers that all of these cities and the villages are flourishing with grains and herbs. And these and the forests are flowering with wonderful flowers, and the oceans are full of wealth. And this is only due to the glance of the personality of Godhead upon them. So our mission is to some or other earn the glance of the personality of Godhead. When the Lord is pleased, then and we can appreciate his beautiful eyes and his beautiful lips, his beautiful form, his lotus feet. Appreciate all of these things, and the Lord is pleased by our devotion, then we hopefully will get his glance. And when that glance is there, then everything has been accomplished. Whatever work, whatever mission, whatever desires, everything is completely fulfilled simply by that glancing of the Lord upon us. So this is, as Prabhupada points out here, once devoting his mind to this, the yogi should no longer desire to see anything else. There is nothing else that has any attraction or value. So we'll end there. Are there any questions or comments? Questions about teeth or lips or eyebrows?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you. So it seems that the verse is recommending to meditate on the laughter of the Lord, which is awesome. But does that mean to meditate on what that looks like when Krishna's laughing? Obviously, it seems to allude to that because it's speaking about how his teeth are being revealed. Because generally, when we think of laughter, we think of a sound. So does it also mean to meditate on what it sounds like to hear?
Both. Why not both?
Okay. If that's the case, how are we supposed to imagine what Viṣṇu sounds like laughing? That's revealed.
That's revealed by Krishna within the heart. We don't have to speculate on it. We can just, as Prabhupada points out here, one should visualize the laughter of the Lord and study his smiling face very carefully. And if that sound is there, that's certainly that can be there. But in this case, Prabhupada is pointing out visualizing the laughter of the Lord and studying his smile very carefully. So in the course of smiling and laughing, there are certain visual things that one can imagine. His teeth slightly showing, his lotus eyes. That one should focus on, and if some sound should come, why isn't that possible? Certainly, it would be possible. Lord Brahma heard Krishna within his heart.
I have some reflection of this, about the laughing. But before that, to the question that you mentioned, a thought came to my mind that there is a beautiful song, Madhuran, 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 and Etan Mangalam, Mangalanam. That everything the Lord does is sweet. His walking, the way he dresses, just for the devotee to meditate the sweetness of Krishna, everything. So that would be something to meditate. And my reflection was that laughing brings to a relevance, of what we, in our present life, in this world, for us. It's beautiful to hear about the Lord, laughing. It brings happiness, it's uplifting, and it brings joy, and we become attractive. And in the material world also we have that. Queen Kunti Devi is mentioned in the Janmaishvarya, Sruta Sivi, Redamana, Vidapamanda. When a person has richness, when he has wealth, higher education, good birth, and all that, it's like, wow, everything is going good. It's laughing. You can laugh about it. But when one of these things doesn't work, let's say you don't have your beautiful home, your beautiful wife, your children, good children, anything goes wrong, then there's pain and suffering. There's no laughing there. So I was just wondering, this is probably my mental speculation, many years before I've been thinking, especially when I have some pains, what will be that instead of showing this sour or bitter face when something is going wrong, it just comes like a smile, like a laughing, like, no, nothing is wrong. Everything is fine. Even pain doesn't bother me. But that's just like my concocted speculation. But then by reading the scriptures, actually we realize that no, the material world is not for laughing all the time. It's to actually realize that it's a serious place in which we have to, get out of this place. Not everything is going to be beautiful. Not everything is going to be for us to be smiling. So what we were hearing about the beautiful description of the laughing of the Lord is very uplifting, it's good. But for us in the material world, we still have to deal with a lot of issues of this body, even practicing the spiritual life. There are many devotees right now at this particular time who are suffering and struggling. And you go and see them, they might not smile to you. How are you doing, Prabhu? He's not going to say, oh, well, I'm doing fine. No, the body is in pain, and we don't see that smile. Or when we go to see them too, it's like you don't know how to go and reciprocate. Am I going to smile? Or how? Should I be sober?
So, yeah, there's a certain degree of contentment, though,
yeah.
That whatever I'm suffering, and it may be a very difficult situation, by Krishna's grace, it's been lessened, and whatever I'm receiving is my just. I'm meant to go through that situation, that suffering, that inconvenience, that miserable whatever, but by Krishna's grace, it's been lessened. So there's a degree of contentment. It's not that we're laughing about it, but okay, thank you, Krishna.
Yeah. By the way, before I forget this, there's one devotee right now who's having a hard time with his health, and he asked me to ask Sobhas to make prayers for him and other devotees because he's having a really hard time. His name is Gopal. He gives donations, but he asked about Sobhas. He said, tell him to pray for me. Because I was going to go and visit him yesterday, but he couldn't even. He says, I'm feeling so bad, I'm not ready for the visit now, but pray for me. So.
Yeah, I had a thought about meditating on Krishna's laughter. Maybe we could expand that. Can we meditate on what made Krishna laugh? It's like you sort of mentioned that pastime about when Pundraka, Krishna laughed when he saw him on the battlefield, and when he first saw him, because he had you said, pasted on.
Prabhupada writes that
Krishna
couldn't contain himself.
He broke into a big laugh. So you can meditate upon that, because that made Krishna laugh. And another time, it doesn't in the Krishna book when Duryodhana was,
he fell. In the court.
It doesn't say that Krishna was laughing, but he said all the princesses were laughing, and Maharaj Yudhisthira was trying to tell him, no, and Krishna told him, no, let him laugh. So you could laugh at people who are trying to imitate Krishna. You could laugh at somebody when somebody who's really foolish is being exposed. Krishna laughed at those things, or he was okay with laughing in those situations. So it can be another way of thinking about it.
Yeah, the impersonalists can't understand how is it that God, the absolute truth, can laugh, and he can love, and he can have so many wonderful exchanges, and it's beyond their understanding.
It's like go to a mall or something. You see ridiculous things, and Krishna would laugh at that, and we could laugh at that.
You can't help but laugh. You can't help but laugh, and I just couldn't. I couldn't contain myself. I just had to walk by and just start laughing. And it's all illusory. It's not even real. It's not real in any shape, way, or form. Maybe there was such a person, that model, may have been such a person, but do they actually look like that? Not even. It's laughable. No.
Yeah, seeing the humor in it. Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.